Good evening and thank you for joining me on Black News Tonight. I'm Mark Lamont Hill. Continuing coverage now in the trial of 3 men accused in the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. Some potential jurors were dismissed while others were told to stand by because they could be selected. The selection process is moving much slower than anticipated, and it's starting to make some people nervous. BNC's Drake Clark reports.
Outside the Glenn County Courthouse in Brunswick, Georgia.
We'll fight all day, we'll fight all night, until we get it right.
A song of commitment dedicated to Ahmaud Arbery. Anything less than justice in Arbery's case is unacceptable. Justice means convictions.
We want justice! We want it!
Members of the Transformative Justice Coalition hopped on buses from all across the country. Black men and women who wanted to be here, letting the Arbery family know they're not alone. Gary Cook is a family friend.
If you can't get out and support your own people, and somebody else got to come do it, how do you know that this thing gonna go right? They might say that the public don't even care about this kid.
Portia Miller made the 4-hour drive here from Atlanta.
When it comes to the people of color, it's always the victim that's on trial and not the people that done the crime. And so us as people of color, it's very important that we get a guilty verdict.
Travis and Gregory McMichael, along with William Bryan, are facing multiple charges, including murder. Ahmaud Arbery was jogging through his neighborhood when the McMichaels chased him down and shot him at point-blank range, claiming they believed Arbery was a burglary suspect and they shot him in self-defense. William Bryan followed the chase and recorded the shooting on his cell phone.
Ahmaud Arbery, he wasn't doing nothing but doing something he did on a regular basis, that was run his neighborhood.
Inside the courthouse, lawyers are trying to select 12 jurors and 4 alternates. Media attention surrounding the case makes it hard to find fair and impartial jurors. And it seems in this small town, everyone knows everyone.
Being that they haven't picked a jury yet, yes, it's very alarming at the moment.
I'm Drake Clark for Black News Tonight.
Turning now to COVID-19 headlines. U.S. regulators have approved the mixing of vaccines for booster shots. The FDA says it's okay for those who got the Moderna or Johnson & Johnson vaccines. This is a big step in expanding the American booster campaign. But before more people go to get a booster shot, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention will consult an expert panel this week before offering an official recommendation of who should get boosters and when. Meanwhile, the Biden administration says it has secured enough vaccine supply to vaccinate 28 million children. The targeted age group is between 5 and 11. Vaccines will be offered to kids at schools and other community-based sites. The White House is set to launch a national public education campaign that will include pediatricians, schools, and faith leaders. Massachusetts also looking to keep children safe from COVID-19. Governor Charlie Baker now deploying the National Guard to help protect classrooms as staffing shortages affect schools' ability to test students for the virus. Some districts, however, are pushing back against the governor's plan. And in New York City, Mayor Bill de Blasio announced earlier today a vaccine mandate for all city employees. That includes police and firefighters. According to the mayor, city workers are expected to receive at least their first dose by 5 p.m. next Friday. And those who do not start their vaccination by the following Monday, November 1st, will be placed on unpaid leave until they provide proof of vaccination. Students at HBCUs around the country continue their protest against dangerous living conditions inside their dorms. DNC's Derek Lewis has more on what's happening and how students are looking for help from the federal government.
Fed up with deplorable living conditions on campus, Howard University students are holding sit-ins. The students have met with school officials, but they say there's still work to do.
Since then, our demands have not been met. Don't let anybody lie to you. Our demands have not been met.
Anaya Vines is supporting students dealing with similar living conditions at HBCUs in Atlanta.
Please stand firm on your demands. Y'all, do not waver, okay? Y'all are leaders. The stuff that we are doing here, you guys can do there.
These demands for better housing conditions have been going on for more than a week.
I think that there's going to be a compromise at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later.
In addition to better housing, students want help paying for college.
It's a true testament of their commitment to the betterment and the future of HBCUs.
President Biden wants $45 billion invested in HBCUs through his Build Back Better plan. At Florida A&M University, President Dr. Larry Robinson says the university has gotten more than $100 million from the administration to improve housing on campus.
So now we can focus more on the renovation and upkeep of older dorms and possibly look at newer dormitories or residence halls to take care of the current needs of our students.
Dr. Robinson says his HBCU could use more money.
There's a lot of untapped potential in investing in new research facilities, new classroom facilities for our students, that could make us even more competitive in the world of research and help the nation become more competitive in that space as well.
Students plan to stand strong until the situation changes.
Do not move until your demands are met. If you move, that means you have admitted defeat.
In Houston, I'm Derek Lewis for Black News Tonight.
Also included in the president's Build Back Better plan is financial help for HBCU students with a family income below $125,000. Educators and civil rights groups are suing critical race theory bans in Oklahoma. In May, the state put law HB 1775 in effect, which prevents any discussions regarding race and gender issues from being taught in classrooms. The American Civil Liberties Union believes the law is unconstitutional under the First and 14th Amendments. The ACLU also says that the law prevents students from learning, quote, the experiences and viewpoints of all historically marginalized communities in this country. The state's law has banned a wide range of things, from experiences to help other people cope.
Of course, I'm very passionate, and for me, the most important thing is to keep people alive.
Dr. Carolyn Rowley founded Cayenne Wellness Center in Burbank, California. The nonprofit offers support services to people with sickle cell.
Whether they need transportation to get to their clinic appointments, we have a program that helps if they actually need other types of resources like rental assistance or help with your utilities.
Sickle cell causes red blood cells to form a sickle shape, leading to unbearable pain. Here in the U.S., 100,000 people have the disease, and most of them are Black.
The life expectancy has improved. Back in the 70s, for example, an average patient with sickle cell disease would be unusual if they lived beyond their 20s. Now the life expectancy is in the late 40s, 50s, 60s.
Pain episodes can lead to expensive hospital stays. The only cure is through a blood or bone marrow transplant. Dr. Griffin Rogers of NIH says pharmaceutical companies have been cautious about investing in new treatments.
People, this is 100,000. It's not a million. It's not like, for example, diabetes, in which 30 million adults have it, and another 80 million are at risk for developing it. But that number probably is something that goes into the equation when pharmaceutical and device companies think about, what's going to be the return on their research investment.
Adrienne Shapiro is a patient advocate and works with Cayenne Wellness. She tells us sickle cell takes a toll on families.
It's really hard when you're crying with a mom whose kid is sickle cell and you still have your child. It's hard because sometimes those moms who've lost their children can't look at you anymore. You become for them that place, that reminder of what they've lost.
Adrian's daughter has the disease, and Carolyn was diagnosed with it as a toddler.
If there's someone watching with sickle cell, what words of hope would you give them?
I have a very full life and it's worth living. So with that person who may feel hopeless, they're here for a reason because they still have breath of life. So it's a matter of finding their joy and how they're going to leave their legacy.
Now, in her own battle with sickle cell, Carolyn tells us she tries to live a healthy lifestyle. That includes a vegan diet, breathing exercises, and prayer. Reporting from Burbank, California, I'm Anita Bennett for BNC.
There are several types of sickle cell disease, and Cayenne Wellness is doing its part by continuing to help spread awareness. To see more of our Be Well series, make sure you go to bnc.tv and click on Health. Be sure to join the conversation. We want to hear from you. Head over to our BNC Instagram and Twitter pages. Let us know how you feel. Also visit the website bnc.tv and subscribe to our YouTube channel to check out clips from the show.